What's going on, everyone? Dave Knittel here. Today is Wednesday, May 30th, with another entrepreneur vlog updating you on my 3 entrepreneurial projects in the soccer world. So I have Futsal, which is a simplified fantasy soccer website. I have the Soccer Tavern, which is a YouTube channel discussing the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. And I have Bros Talking Soccer, which is a soccer podcast I do weekly with my 2 brothers, where we discuss stories from around the soccer world. So before I get into specifics with them, if you're watching this thing live on YouTube, feel free to say hello or send me a comment or question. I have my chat feature up here in the background and would be happy to answer any questions that you bring up. Or if you're watching this in the future and have thoughts or comments, questions, so on and so forth, feel free to leave a comment on the video and I will address them in the future. Or you can send me an email. My email is dave@fanfutsal.com or tweet at me at dknitz11 is my personal one. On the FanFutsal front, over this last week, we started a Futsal tournament. So on FanFutsal, we have tournaments that we run, and we've partnered with different people. And so this guy Blake from Futsal, which is a product that is probably about 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide. It's a rebounder. You kick the soccer ball into it, it bounces back. So we're running a tournament right now where the winner of our Futsal tournament will win $40 off the purchase of a Futsal. And so that started 2 weeks ago, and we had good participation the first week, but the second week we had, less than half of the users return and set a lineup, which is obviously very disappointing. I don't know if it was because it was a holiday weekend and people really weren't paying as much attention or what the deal was. So that was obviously a disappointment. My weekly email is going to come out tomorrow, and I'm obviously going to try to have a bigger emphasis and reminder for people to set lineups there. And so hopefully we can get more participation this week. We also officially agreed to sponsor the soccer podcast and stand-up comedy tour this summer. I mistakenly announced that partnership and some additional details prematurely in my email last week, so I definitely felt bad about jumping the gun there, and I'm going to do my best to never have that happen again. So just wanted to own up to that mistake. I mean, we all make mistakes, and with that, I didn't clear it with the sponsors or with the tournament guys before I announced that in the email. So I'm sorry about that, and I feel bad. But whenever the time comes to announce more details about that, I'm excited to be able to do that. On the Soccer Tavern front, we released our Group B and C videos for national team history of the 32 teams at the World Cup. I said that really strangely. So we're making national team history videos for all 32 teams at the World Cup. We released our Group A videos a couple weeks ago, and then since we've last spoken, I released Group B and C. Group D will be coming out tomorrow. We haven't seen a ton of views or great response on them. We have gotten good feedback on the handful of people that have watched the videos. Again, I don't have connections to them. They're strangers on the internet, but have seemed to enjoy them. And so it's encouraging that people like the content that I'm putting out, but it's disappointing that it hasn't gained as much traction as I would have hoped. My Group A videos, I think the highest one has about 28 views at this point. I think that's Uruguay. And the videos that are coming out now are getting anywhere from 10 to 20 views. Obviously, I would want that to be much higher. And yeah, it's a long game that these videos have life after the World Cup. And, I've seen it with my Burnley and Huddersfield videos that I released a while ago. They're slowly picking up more steam and getting, anywhere from 10 to 20 views per day, even though I'm not promoting them. And so the hope is that will eventually happen with these. And obviously the hope is that it's hundreds of views and thousands of views per day and not just, a handful. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing too much else to report there. I mean, it's disheartening because I'm working really, really hard on these videos and not seeing the benefit right away. But again, playing the long game here, that hopefully it'll pick up at some point in the future. The next 2 weeks, so the World Cup starts basically 2 weeks from tomorrow. And so I have to get a bunch of videos still done. I think it's somewhere around 20, 21 videos still to get done within these next 2 weeks. So I'm going to be working really, really hard, and hopefully, hopefully I see the benefit of that in the not too distant future. My World Cup overview video is about 15 minutes long, and it takes you through qualifying for each of the different confederations all the way through the World Cup. And it's a really detailed, comprehensive view. And I spent a lot of time creating graphics for that. And so I finished that. Now I just need to put them into the video and sort of finalize that. That should be out sometime this weekend. On the Bros Talking Soccer front, we had freelance writer Brian Hernandez on the podcast this week. It went a little bit long, but I thought we had a good discussion. It could have been a bit funnier, and so we're going to try to, just make it more lighthearted this week. We're going to have Mark Lawson on, who has been with us before. He's Game Day Tourist, for anyone who may know him from social media. He travels around to all different kinds of sporting events and blogs about it. He's a big soccer fan, Tottenham fan, and so we're going to have him on to do a World Cup full preview blowout show this week. So excited about that. We'll record on Sunday morning. Also, our year-end piece for 90 Minutes at a Time for Liverpool and Man City. The founder of 90 Minutes at a Time said it was going to be coming out any day now. So I know last week we thought it was going to be coming out, but he sent me a message yesterday that it would be out yesterday. Didn't come out yet, but so it's got to be coming out either today or tomorrow. I'm trying to give him some time. I'm sure he's got a lot going on. So hopefully, that'll come out and we can get at least a little bit of an uptick in listeners for our Bros Talking Soccer podcast. So I'm excited about that. Also, I reached out to the Lads podcast. So we had the Lads on the podcast, I don't know, 6 months ago. I can't remember the exact time, but they are Loud Americans Discussing Soccer. That's their acronym, stands for Lads Podcast. They're two guys from Philly, really, really funny, and they've built a really good following in their niche and with their podcast. And so I reached out to them because we had them on, and so just asked if I could be on their podcast at some point in the future. If they ever needed somebody, no pressure. And they got right back to me and said, we'd love to have you on this upcoming week. So next Tuesday, I'm going to be on there, and again, hopefully I can get the word out about the Soccer Tavern, Bros Talking Soccer, and Fan Futsal, and hopefully we can see some uptick in listeners, viewers, and users on Fan Futsal. Overall, it's been a slightly disheartening last couple of weeks. I just want to be open and honest in these things. I'm working really, really hard on a lot of different things, and it hasn't been a huge. Our podcast has stayed pretty flat, and the YouTube channel, I had just higher hopes for these World Cup videos, and just overall, it's just been such a slow sort of grind. Yeah, we're trending in a slight positive direction, but it's nowhere near kind of what I envisioned and all of that. And so, I'm just going to keep grinding on everything. And, if you have any suggestions on ways to grow all of this, I would love to hear them. And, I'm just going to keep researching and trying to find ways to grow this thing. So with that, that's the end of yet another entrepreneur vlog. Thank you for checking this out. Again, if you have feedback, questions, comments, so on and so forth, please let us know in the comment section below the video. You can email me, dave@fanfutsal.com, or send tweets. Our Twitter for my personal one is @deaconitz11. Fan Futsal is @fan_futsal. The Soccer Tavern is @the Soccer Tavern. And Bros Talking Soccer is @BT Soccer Pod. So I hope you have a great week. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will talk to you all next week. See you, everybody.